Right, here we go, part two. Just so that you guys know, I speak off the cuff. Anything that I do, I never plan anything. I never write down notes. If I mess it up, I mess it up. You see the way it is. What comes out of my mouth can't always guarantee, but that's how you know me. Um, did we go to Sunday school? Did we get brought up in a Christian environment? Yeah, we did. Ryan and I we went to a church in St. Martin's in the Field in Durban North. I know it's still there. Um, we hated it. Absolutely hated it. Sundays, Ryan and I would try to sleep in, but as little boys of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever, we would try to make it so we would pretend we're sleeping, but Mum would never let us off. We grew up, all we wanted to do was play sport. So we went. Did we listen? Possibly a little bit. Did we want to play? Yeah, we just wanted to play sport. I think we were typical kids growing up in those days. We couldn't wait for soccer matches. But going to church and listening to the Bible stories and doing work, it was like having school on a Sunday. So we saw no purpose in it, didn't really listen. But the irony of it, our subconscious mind took in the stories and even the things that we would have learned at school. We did learn something. And it's funny, I've always said to Mum over the last 2 years, I remember those stories. Paid zero attention to it, but I actually remember it. And I said to my mum probably 2 months ago, I said to her, Mum, I hated going to church. Hated it. But I'm so grateful because so much of it is coming back to me now when I sit and read the Bible. Anyway, then there was another church, and not knocking this church because I would now love to go to that church. There was Church of the Good Shepherd, which was in Durban North. We went there a few times for whatever reason. I remember the Anglican church was very boring, and we used to sit and look at those books and fiddle with it, and it was the most boring place ever. Then Mum took us to Church of the Good Shepherd. I don't think we ever went to Sunday school. We might have been a bit older. Yeah. And I'll never forget that there were some people running around, and one person would grab flags, and the one was doing handstands, and they were doing like weird things, uncool things, in our opinion. I mean, it's still not for me. I mean, if people want to celebrate and do that, but it probably threw us backwards many years because we thought of that is what church is going to be. That place is for losers. That's how we had an impression of it. But in saying that, Mom enjoyed it, but Mom especially ensured, along with my granny and grandpa, that we had great Christian values. So were we brought up in a Christian home, knowing the difference between right and wrong and saying our prayers at night? Yes, we were. Did we know who we were praying to? No, we didn't. Absolutely not. We just did it. But Mom was a machine. Anyway, from then, we went to Beechwood Boys High. That was our school that we went to. Ryan and I excelled in sport. We loved our cricket and rugby. We were forced to play cricket and rugby. I was always different. I still wanted to play soccer, and for some reason I played for Durban City Football Club, which was a black soccer club. And in those days you weren't allowed to, there was no integration between blacks and whites or coloreds and Indians. And all my friends were black. I don't know why. I always just loved black people and Indian people and colored people. I just got on well with them. I related better to them. I felt more comfortable. Maybe was it because we were poor? And were we poor? We were very poor. The church had to hand out stuff. Dad disappeared a lot. So he was just absent father, and then he disappeared for 1 or 2 years, and then he would not support my mum. So my poor mum had to support us, 3 boys on 1 salary. And, that built further insecurities we grew up feeling like the poor kids. So again, another major, to go with my scars and my body shame, another insecurity was the fact that we were poor. I like playing I played for Durban City, as I said, which was an African club, and I wanted to play. I could not understand why could my friends not come to my house because they were black or Indian or colored. We were too young. I always questioned those kind of boundaries. I wanted them to be my friends, not my little white kids at school. But I think growing up poor was another blessing. It was also a curse. So we used to get regular church handouts, and we used to see our friends. I mean, they could have KFC. We couldn't afford KFC. That would be like the biggest treat ever. And yeah, it became a major issue in our life. And again, with Dad disappearing, abandonment issues. So my mom did such an amazing job that having her even be 10 minutes late to pick me up, the separation anxiety and the fact that we're going to be abandoned, I'd be crying by the time that she came to pick me up because I was worried that, hey, Dad's gone. Where's my mom? Why is she late? And she never did that on purpose. I mean, my mom was just trying to juggle as many jobs as she could do just to keep food on the table. So there was the third one. Feeling of inadequacy, abandonment. Dad would go away for 2 years, come back, no answer. Don't know where he is. He would phone once every, I think the longest he went away was something like a year. Still to this day, we don't know where Bob went, but it doesn't matter. It's not important now. Those kind of details are now. Again, I want to reiterate, we don't judge on the past. Past is done. I mean, you're going to hear some stuff coming up just now that, I would love to run away from and pretend never happened. But it's fact, it happened. And the truth is the truth. And I know that while you're sitting listening at this, you're thinking back to your childhood. Because that's what we do. We reflect on our own life. And yeah, wouldn't say I was a bad person. Wasn't interested in church, didn't go to youth. I did get baptized. No, not baptized. Confirmed. There was a girl called Alex. I loved this girl. I think I was only about 14. I went to the Methodist Church in Durban North and I got baptized. Confirmed with her, but it was only an excuse to see Alex because her mother made her get confirmed. So I got confirmed, but I don't even know anything about it. Don't remember anything. I think I was just looking at the girl. So I've got a picture of me with a certificate confirmed, but didn't hear a word. Definitely was not present. So that was not a highlight of my life. Finished matric, carried on with life. Just went through general hardship. Mum, dad divorced. Then separations. Mum got remarried to a beautiful guy called Peter. Dad disappeared. He went overseas. We found out where they got divorced. Blah, blah, blah. He disappeared overseas. Always promises he was going to send us this. Lots of lies, lots of stories. Just difficult upbringing. Always a lack of everything. Ryan and I were very close. Neil, not that close because of the age gap. Anyway, cut a long story short, did quite well at sport, played a couple of years first side cricket, first side rugby in the last year. We're always competitive in sport, and that was our escape. I think my first addiction that I ever had was sport. Went to school, had ADHD, undiagnosed, and I think that was just from the era. So, attended the classes, obviously, because it was an old traditional school, but never listened to the teacher because I couldn't focus on it. I worked a damn sight harder than Ryan and Neil did. Go figure this one. Ryan was a matric, high school matric teacher who got A on higher grade. Bruce got an F on standard grade for maths. How can one brother with the same mother and father, one be so sharp at maths and the other one almost plug standard grade? Undiagnosed ADHD at the time. So I sat there, looked at the teacher, but nothing was coming in. So if you look at me like that, sometimes the same thing still happens, but at least it's now diagnosed. From there, I went into the police, left matric, was not really money for studying, so I had to make a decision, and I went into the police. And I think I'm going to end it off there for now. I've given you already 20 minutes. The juicy part starts just now on the next part 3. So if you're still listening to this, please just give me a thumbs up, and if that you actually like it and you want me to carry on. Otherwise, I can really give you a shortened version, but I think it's important that you know that there's a history, a proper history, and there's a reason why I turned out like it turned out. And I'm grateful for everything that happened in this journey to get to this place. But really, the non-pretty stuff is about to come.